YouTube? It's Mike, and today I'm going to be talking about the A7S III firmware version 2.0 and the S-Cinetone update. But before we get into that, if you haven't considered it already, please subscribe to the channel as it really helps the channel grow. And yeah, I'd love to have you in the community, and if you like videos like this, then there will be more of these videos coming. So let's really just jump into the firmware itself. So A7S III firmware version 2.0, what is it and do you need it? So first of all, it's going to come with S-Cinetone, which is a highly regarded picture profile for skin tones that are used in the cinema line. And it's a great addition. It will be in your picture profile 11 slot, which should be your last slot. I think it goes up to 10 right now. And this was recently included in the FX3. So there had been a lot of talk about it going to the A7S III, and here we are. So this firmware also includes active IS in S&Q mode, but not for anything past 100 frames per second. And then of course there are bug fixes and camera stability fixes, which they always say. So I don't know if that's just a true statement or just politics by Sony in general. My A7S III is currently on 1.01, so I didn't get the 1.02 firmware update in October of last year, which included some FTP transfer updates, as well as some tethering updates for iPhones. However, that doesn't support iOS 14. Now, if you're trying to do this update, it's gonna work for pretty much all Sony cameras, Sony lenses, even some third-party lenses that are updated through the camera. Just one thing to note is if you're running Big Sur like I am on Mac, you can't do this update for some reason right now. So until there's a fix, you'll have to get access to a Windows machine or just simply wait. Now, I went and found one of the several Windows machines in my house, and I'm gonna run through the update. Now, the update process for Mac is gonna be exactly the same, so you don't have anything to worry about. So we'll just go through and run the update, and then you'll have S-Cinetone on your camera. All right, so first things first, if you're wanting to do an update to any Sony camera or Sony lens, it's pretty simple. You just wanna go to Google and type in your camera or lens name. Once you type that in, you're gonna wanna find the Sony.com link. And even if this was a lens or maybe the A7C that I'm shooting on now or the A7 III over here, all you're gonna wanna do is go to support. From support, you'll go to downloads. And then if there is a firmware update for that lens or camera, it'll be right here. The process is exactly the same. So this works for not only the A7S III, but other cameras. So I'm gonna find the firmware version 2.0 right here. It's gonna let you know all the information, benefits and improvements. If there were previous improvements, like I said, on 1.02, it's gonna let you know what those were as well. And just kind of give you general instructions, but you don't need that. You're watching this video, so hopefully I can help you through this. You're gonna wanna download the file, which I've already done, which is gonna be about 586 megs. I like to right click and run it as admin. I don't think it's necessary, but that's just what I like to do. So we'll actually close these down. It's gonna go ahead and extract. Make sure that your computer is plugged in if it is a laptop. Make sure that your camera has 100% battery power, or at least close to it, maybe 80 to 100%. You also wanna make sure that you have a high quality USB cable like the one that came with it. If you're using a cheap one, it may not recognize the camera, so that's just something to note. Now, once you're ready and you run the program, it's gonna tell you to connect your camera, but we have to do a step first. Is we're gonna turn the camera on. Go into menu, go down to the toolbox, which is yellow. Go to USB connection, and make sure it's set to mass storage. If it's on anything else, it may not work. So just make sure it's on mass storage. I think mass storage is the default, but I know in other Sonys, it's always been auto as the default. So you also wanna check your version. So go down to setup option, go to version, and you can see I'm on 1.01. You may be on something different, 1.02. Once you're ready, all you're gonna do is connect your computer to USB to the camera. And you can use USB standard or USB-C. I prefer to use USB-C because it's a more secure connection, and it's gonna show on your camera that you're running USB storage mode. Now on your computer, what you're gonna wanna do is hit next, and it's gonna go ahead and detect the camera. Once it's detected it, it'll show you down here on the left that your current version is 1.01. After the update, it's gonna be 2.0. Hit next, and now it's gonna start the update process. And it shouldn't take all that long, but we'll sit here and let it go ahead and update. Sometimes it does take a while. Do not power your camera off. Do not disconnect it. None of that. Just let it go through. If something happens with your computer, you may just have to pull the battery, worst case. But at all means, if you see it on the computer running, then, you know, don't turn your computer off. Don't turn your camera off. Don't disconnect it. Also, another thing to note is keep your computer from going to sleep. I think some people may have auto sleep on some of their computers. Just make sure you're staying here and you're watching it and nothing can happen to it, because you don't want your camera to get corrupted. So another thing that you'll notice is there is a tally light that's going to show you that the camera is actually writing. All right, so once it's done, it'll say finish the update. All you gotta do is hit finish. You'll notice that on your camera, it still says mass storage mode, and that tally light has went off, so you know that it's no longer writing. Once you see that, you can actually unplug your camera from USB. What you're gonna wanna do is actually power the camera off, power it back on, and now we're gonna go back into our menu, the toolbox, which is the yellow icon, all the way down to version. And then now you're gonna see that we're on version 2.0. Now if you go to your picture profiles, which I have shortcut to my trash can, you go all the way down, you should see a PP11, which is gonna have the gamma of S-Cinetone. So there you go. All right, so now you have S-Cinetone, now what? So from my understanding, this is a great picture profile for skin tones and doesn't require as much grading and can give you a quick turnaround and may be very good for people who like the vlog. And I know this is probably a very popular camera for that. However, I am a S-Log shooter and I'll probably continue to use S-Log 3, which should have about 2 stops of dynamic range more than S-Cinetone. And S-Cinetone and HLG probably have about the same dynamic range. And I don't really use HLG, but I can see myself using S-Cinetone for anything that I need quick turnaround times for. And I'll probably end up just doing a video comparing probably no picture profile, S-Log, and HLG. So let me know what type of stuff you want to see in that video. All right guys, if you have any questions or comments, please leave those down below. If you like the video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more content just like this, or hit the notification bell if that's something you're into. That's a wrap. Try to talk way too fast. Check out the skin though. That's the MKB HD skin. Really nice. I put that thing on my laptop and everything, so it's very cool. Peace.